I would sit myself down and just plug away for a chapter or two, and then I would put my writing away. And the next day, I'm being Stephen King here, by the way, I would go back through my reading and find out that there's actually some subplots that I have plugged in there and I really don't want those subplots. During and after the divorce, I actually had a huge brain fog and I was unable to write, which was devastating. It's too Disney, too Hallmarky, where the love story gets ramped up and it moves really fast and the characters fall in love in like 2 days. I don't understand certain people's victimhood mentality. Hello lovelies, welcome back to A Writer's Corner. I am literally in a corner in my apartment because I don't have a proper working microphone for the time being. I did have two, however one just stopped working. The other one needs an adapter and the two adapters that I bought actually don't work either. So for the best sound quality, I am stuck literally in a corner for you guys. So welcome to my corner. Today, I want to talk about the second week of my 30-day writing challenge. And the second week was for me to work on what I call the soggy middle of my novel. And the reason I call it a soggy middle is because this is where I just dump all sorts of information, it gets absorbed, and then I go back and remove things, edit things, do all of that ugly editing stuff later on. This is actually one of my least favorite things about writing, filling in the middle. The fun and easy bits are obviously coming up with the story idea, creating the outline, developing the characters, writing the intro and the ending, all of that fun, easy stuff. One of the least fun bits is filling in the middle. I am so sorry if this microphone picks up the airplanes overhead. I cannot do anything about them, and I don't know why, but at this time, they're choosing to all fly above me. The middle, however, is very crucial to a story. I'm writing a contemporary romance novel, and this is where the A and B characters learn about each other, and they subconsciously learn to like each other. Certain things need to happen in order for their relationship to develop. It's coming up with these certain things that make writing the middle piece tough. Pretty much, how much of a dating experience can I give these two characters without any of it being a date? So I've had to depend on inspiration. I have videos on how to gain writing inspiration, and to be honest, I've had to go back through my notes and use some of that myself during this writing process. One method was just to write. I would sit myself down and just plug away for a chapter or two, and then I would put my writing away. And the next day, I'm being Stephen King here, by the way, I would go back through my reading and find out that there's actually some subplots that I have plugged in there and I really don't want those subplots, and I would end up just deleting the whole thing. Another technique that I used was watching a movie or a TV show. So I would sit myself in front of the TV or a computer and play a rom-com. Sadly, some of these were very boring and I regretted watching them, but there was one that apparently I had watched several years ago and I ended up just skimming through it, but this time I watched the whole thing the whole way through and just fell in love with it. It's my new favorite Christmas rom-com. The actors were amazing, and I actually didn't mind the love-hate, I'm fake dating my best friend's brother trope. For this movie, it actually worked, and that was all thanks to the actors. So, amazing film. However, did it give me the inspiration I needed? Not really. I have to say that this second week went by a lot faster than the first week. And it's obvious because in the first week I started on November 1st and the full week didn't end until November 9th. So that was a 9-day week for me to film or keep track of. Whereas this second week was only 7 days. I have to preface by saying that I did have my kids through Monday and then I had them again Friday evening through Sunday morning. Saturday, I mean. This is because Monday was Veterans Day and my kids and I had that day off, but their dad didn't, so the kids just stayed with me. And then on Friday, my ex wanted to go hang out with a few work buddies, so I just let my kids stay with me and I didn't care. To think their dad called me controlling in our marriage. Control to him was pretty much, don't give me responsibilities, and if you do, I'm gonna go tattle to my parents. This is one of the reasons I prefer to be a single mom. Because for some reason, while we were married, I allowed him freedom, he had friends, he had hobbies, the complete opposite of his brother and sister-in-law's relationship, and yet somehow I was labeled as the bad guy. I don't understand certain people's victimhood mentality. Anywho, let's look at the second week of my 30-day writing challenge. On the 10th of November, I recall writing one paragraph in the night, and that was it. I don't even remember which paragraph it was. On the 11th, I wrote a total of 3,182 words during my kids' nap and in the night. On the 12th, I tweaked what I had written prior, and that gave me 3,117 words instead. I also watched a rom-com to try to gain writing inspiration. On the 13th, I had to work on my video for week 1, so I did no writing. On the 14th, I did some rewriting, and that gave me 1,637 words. On the 15th, I wrote 1,247 words, and also stumbled upon that really cute rom-com I was talking about. On the 16th, I reread what I had written prior and added 754 more words. That's a total of 9,937 words for the week. If I add that with the first week, that gives me a total of 15,516 words. I'm at the halfway mark of this writing challenge, and I mean, I should be halfway through 50,000 words, and yet I'm not even there. But at least I'm writing. I'm not big on word count, and I know all of my numbers and words will change as I go through this second revision, so I'd say I did okay for this second week. I still have a lot to write, and well, obviously I don't think I'm gonna make it through to the 30 days and complete my novel, but at least I'm writing. For those of you new to this channel, I recently divorced my husband of 6 years, and during and after the divorce, I actually had a huge brain fog and I was unable to write, which was devastating. It has taken me 3 months to be able to write again, which I am thankful because I honestly thought it was going to take me at least 4 months to get back on track. The reason I thought that my brain fog would last at least 4 months was because the last time I felt a brain fog and the last time I was in this situation, I actually moved myself to Daegu, South Korea, where it took me 4 months to acclimate to living there. So for 4 months, I lived in a brain fog. And thankfully for this situation that I'm in now, it only took 3 months. Phew. I'm feeling so much better and I am ready to write again. I honestly wanted to make videos of my post-divorce experience, but I think it would have been very boring. You guys would have just been watching me cry and eat chips and salsa all day. I literally craved nothing but chips and salsa for 2 whole weeks. It turns out that the body actually likes or it needs acidity while it's stressed. However, my life has calmed down, my kids and I have found a routine, and I'm writing again, so I'm really grateful for that. Looking at how much time I have left to write my novel, I know that I will not make the 30-day mark with 50,000 words. And that's because I'm struggling with this soggy middle. I was originally just like info dumping to begin with, and I feel like that makes my story move way too quickly. It's too Disney, too Hallmarky, where the love story gets ramped up and it moves really fast and the characters fall in love in like 2 days. I don't want that. I would rather my characters confess their feelings for one another and then want to move their relationship into the next direction. So the next stage for them would be I really like you and I want to date you and I want to get to know you on a better level. In comparison to I'm in love with you and I want to marry you, because that's not realistic. So for the third week, I will continue to work on this soggy middle and progress the characters' relationships with one another. Meanwhile, they're also working on their own personal struggles. I will also have my kids for this third week, and I am crossing fingers they will let me write. To review, I wrote a total of 15,516 words, which isn't much seeing that I am moving on to week 3, and that's because I did a lot of rewriting and deleting and finding ways to gain writing inspiration, which didn't really help. However, I do know one method that has helped, which is body doubling. And I didn't mention this before, but I do rely on body doubling, which I think I mentioned that in week 1. Without such technique, I am just rereading, rewriting, and deleting. If you guys have never tried body doubling while you're writing, I highly suggest it. That's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video to be helpful or insightful, don't forget to like the video. Also share it with other writers that you know so that we could build a writing community. Also subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on week 3. And I will see you there. Until then, take care and have fun reading and writing. Bye!